Come to my heart, blessed Yahusha. Bless me, O my Savior divine. Open the fountain and cleanse me within. Give me a heart like thine. Come to my heart, O Yahusha. Bless me, O my Savior divine. Open the fountain and cleanse me within. Give me a heart like thine. Stay by my side, O Yahusha. Lead me and guide me, I pray. Open the fountain and fill me within. Give me a heart like thine. High praises to Yahuwah, Elohim Most High. 6 days have ended since the Sabbath of the full moon, Adar 15th, 6008. And we are already 2 hours into Yah's creation Sabbath of the 3rd quarter of the moon, Adar 22nd, 6008. I am also putting this on record that 1 lunar year, 3 months, 1 week, and 5 days is here since this Rome system has been persecuting Grandmaster J for righteousness' sake. And I also have it on record that it is now 1 lunar year and 7 days since Grandmaster J's first court hearing. Yahuwah Hebrew Israelites people has always been persecuted, murdered, and false imprisoned by this Rome system. And so, this is nothing new under the sun, but Yahuwah will protect his Hebrew people as he has always done. So this is Yah's Sabbath of the third quarter of the moon. And I was tempted to record this in the morning when the third quarter of the moon can be seen in the sky. However, I'm doing it tonight, and we are already 2 hours into Yah's Sabbath. Yah's Sabbath is a sign of sanctification. It is Yah's sign between him and his people Israel. Yah has commanded that his people keep his Sabbath day holy. And like Exodus 31, 12 to 17 states that Yah's Sabbath is a sign between him and Israel throughout all generations forever. And anyone does any work thereon shall surely be put to death and should be cut off from his people. It is now clear that Rome has fixed Saturday as the Sabbath. And Rome have removed and divorced Yah's Sabbath from the new moon and from the phases of the moon. And if we are observing, we will notice that Rome has placed their pagan holidays upon Yah's Sabbath. On the 14th of Adar, which was also the 14th of February on Rome's Gregorian calendar, we could see that Rome has had their Valentine holiday on the preparation day for Yah's Sabbath, and also on a portion of Yah's Sabbath as well. And this week, the same thing has happened. President's Day was on the preparation day for Yah's Sabbath of the third quarter of the moon. And right now, it is being celebrated. There are what we call fire rockets and things like that. People are celebrating another holiday, another pagan holiday upon Yah's creation Sabbath. I'll just read something from Jeremiah to us, how it states how important Yah regards his Sabbath. He says, "This is what Yahuwah says. Be careful not to carry any burden, load on the Sabbath day, nor bring it through the gates of Jerusalem. Do not carry a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, nor do any work. Instead, keep the Sabbath day holy, as I commanded your fathers." But they did not obey, nor incline their ear, but make their neck stiff, become stubborn. That they might not listen nor receive instruction. And it shall come to pass, if you diligently listen to me, says Yahuwah, and bring no burden through the gates of the city on the Sabbath, but keep the Sabbath day holy by not doing any work on it, then the kings sitting on the throne of David with their officials will enter the gate of the city, riding in chariots and horses. They and their officials will be accompanied by the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And this city will remain forever. And they will come from the cities of Judah and from the places around Jerusalem, from the land of Benjamin, and from the western foothills, from the hill countries and the south, bringing burnt offerings and sacrifices, grain offerings and incense, and bringing sacrifice of praise to the house of Yahuwah. But if you will not obey me by keeping the Sabbath day holy, by not carrying any burden, load, as you come through the gate of Jerusalem on the Sabbath, then I will kindle a fire in its gate, and it will devour the places of Jerusalem, and it will not quench. So this was the promise that Yah made to Israel, that if they would keep his Sabbaths, then kings and officials from the throne of David would enter the city, and Jerusalem would remain forever. But that promise was altered because Israel refused to keep Yah's Sabbath, and Jerusalem eventually was destroyed. And so when Yah make a promise or a pledge, his promises are based on conditions. And if his commands are disobeyed, then we will end up into captivity, just like our forefathers have, because they had rejected Yah's commandments and were taken into captivity, and Jerusalem ended up destroyed and burned to the ground. And uninhabited. So, Yahuwah has commanded us to keep his Sabbaths. Israel refused, and so Yah caused his Sabbaths to be forgotten, and Yah used Rome to change his Sabbaths, change his laws because of Israel's disobedience and idolatry. I am here this evening to let us know that whatever is happening is not happening by chance. It is happening because Yahuwah has permitted it to happen. Because of Israel's disobedience, here is what Lamentation says. It says, Yahuwah has swallowed up the inhabitants of Jacob. And has spared, and has not spared in his wrath. He has thrown down the fortresses of the daughters of Judah. He has brought them down to the ground. He has polluted the kingdoms and its princes. In fierce anger, he has cut off the horn of the pride of Israel. He has withdrawn his right hand at the approach of the enemy. He has turned against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devours on every side. He has bent the bow like an enemy. His right hand was prepared like an adversary. He has slain all that were pleasing in the eyes of the tabernacle of the daughters of Zion. He has poured out his fury. Yahuwah became like an enemy. He has swallowed up Israel. He has swallowed up her palaces. He has destroyed her fortresses and has increased mourning and lamentation in the daughter of Judah. He has laid waste his tabernacles as if it were a garden. He has destroyed his palaces. He has destroyed his place of the congregation. Yahuwah has caused his appointed feast and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion. In the indignation of his anger, he has despised the priest. He has despised the king and priest. Yahuwah has rejected his altar. He has abhorred his sanctuary. He gave over to the enemy the wall of her palaces and made a noise in the house. Oh, they made a noise in the house of Yahuwah as it were an appointed feast day. So Yahuwah planned to destroy the walls of the daughters of Zion. He has stretched out a line. He has not withdrawn his hand from the destruction. He has made a rampant and wall lament together, they languish. So, Yahuwah has caused his Sabbaths to be forgotten because of Israel's sin, rebellion, and idolatry. It is Isaiah who says, our sin, your sin have separated us from our Elohim so that he cannot hear us. So our problem today, while we are being murdered, while we are being oppressed, it's because of our disobedience. Because our disobedience has separated us from Yahuwah, our Elohim. The counsel this evening is to return to Yah in obedience. Return to Yah by keeping his laws so that Yah can defend us, so that Yah can be our refuge and our strong tower. Let's do this in haste so that Yahuwah will deliver us out of the hand of this Rome system. This Rome system destroys everything that is true and righteous. But on the other hand, it is Yahuwah who permit them to do it for a reason. And my time is short, but I'm saying that what Grandmaster J is going through at this time is ordered by Yahuwah. Because Yahuwah wants everyone to see and understand what this Rome system is all about. This Rome system kill and destroy the best of the land and worship the dead. That's what this Rome system do. They slaughter and they murder Yah's people, and then they turn around and name a holiday after them. People like Martin Luther King, people like those who stood up for Yah's Hebrew people are murdered, assassinated by this system. But Yah promised that he will deliver his people, and this Babylon system will fall. This Babylon system, this Rome system will become desolate and waste. I'm going to look at a few verses which shows us that Yahuwah will protect his people in his time. Because right now the world is being destroyed. The nations are being destroyed on account of what this Rome system has done to Grandmaster J and to Yah's Hebrew people. Jeremiah 23 verse 5. Let me look at it before the time is done. Jeremiah 23. Oh, let's do 30 first. Jeremiah 30 verses 9. Let's see what it says. It says, but they will serve Yahuwah their Elohim And David, their king, whom I will raise up to them. Therefore, let me go again. It says, for it will come to pass in that day, says Yahuwah of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off your neck and will burst your bonds, and strangers will no longer serve by him, but they will serve Yahuwah their Elohim and David their king, whom I will raise up to them. Therefore do not fear, O my servant Jacob, says Yahuwah, nor be discouraged, O Israel. For behold, I will save you from afar, and your seed from the land of captivity. And Jacob will return, and will have rest, and be quiet, and secure, and no one will make him afraid. For I am with you, says Yahuwah, to save you, though I make a full end of all the nations where I have scattered you. Yet I will not make a full end of you, but I will correct you in measure with justice, and will not leave you altogether unpunished. So at this time we are being punished, but Yahuwah promised to deliver us, to restore us, and no one will make us afraid. So we will become one nation again. We will have one shepherd, and David will be our king. So Grandmaster Jay and all the other Hebrew men and women who are being murdered and oppressed by this system, the time is ticking, and Yahuwah is already destroying this land, this earth, because of the evil of Rome. Time is ticking. There is never enough time. Let me see what Ezekiel is saying. Ezekiel Ezekiel 37:24. Let me get to Ezekiel 37 before the hour. Ezekiel 37. Verses 34, I think. Yeah, let's see. I could 34. It says, David, my servant, will be king over them, and they will have one shepherd. They will also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes. They will dwell in the land that I have given to Jacob, my servant, where your fathers have dwelt, and they will dwell in it. They and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David will be their prince forever. Moreover, I will renew the covenant of peace with them. It will be an everlasting covenant. It will be an everlasting covenant with them. I will establish them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My dwelling place will also be with them. Yes, I will be their Elohim, and they will be my people. And the heathen will know that I am Yahuwah, that I, Yahuwah, sanctify Israel. My sanctuary will be in the midst of them forevermore. Oh, yes. So we have no need to fear. Yahuwah is on our side. Grandmaster J will be triumphant. Yah will continue to establish the work that he has given Grandmaster J to gather the house of Israel from the 12 tribes. And we will be one stick, and we'll be one nation again. So let us not fear. Let us not be afraid. We have nothing to fear except disobedience. So happy Sabbath. It is the Sabbath of the third quarter of the moon of the 12th biblical lunar month, Adar, 22nd, 6008. And today also is 1 lunar year, 3 months, 1 week, and 5 days since Grandmaster J has been going through persecution by this Rome system. But we have no fear, because Yahuwah, the Holy One of Israel, will deliver his people. For I am with you, says Yahuwah, to save you, though I make a full end of the nations where I have scattered you. Have a happy Sabbath. Remember your Sabbath and keep it holy. 6 days are to labor and do all our work, but the 7th day is your Sabbath. And your Sabbath is determined by the new moon. See Ezekiel 46, 1-3. Have a holy rest. Shalom. Shalom.